Everything that we do is funded by the power of people at patreon.com.
If you love independent content, head to patreon.com/craftbeerchannel.
Hey beer geeks and potentially gear geeks.
Gear geeks, I like it. Hey.
I've never felt more out of my depth at the start of a video.
Yeah,
not even since the start of the Craft Beer Channel.
This is breaking new ground for us, isn't it, Johnny?
It is. Today we're going to look at what CBD beer is. And that will involve the question, what is CBD, which is where we might start to fall apart.
I can tell that it's obviously quite high tech. It looks kind of pharmaceutical. This little container here, how much do you reckon that's worth, Johnny?
Well, I know. It's $4,500.
$4,500 for 1 litre of 20% isolate CBD.
Yeah, right. So what is CBD, Brad?
What is CBD, Johnny?
Oh, you're going to bounce it back. So
I don't know.
CBD is one of the, I don't think it is a psychoactive compound, but it's one of the compounds that has an effect from the marijuana plant, from the hemp.
From the hemp, yeah.
Right.
Technically, I think it is psychoactive, but it doesn't make you high.
It doesn't get you high,
Doesn't get you high,
So you have THC, which is the stuff that gives you a high, and you have CBD, which suppose it's a relaxant, and it's used in medicine as a relaxant.
And for pain relief?
For pain relief as well, people with like arthritis, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's like anti-inflammatory properties, all that kind of stuff.
And I think also starting to be used for treatment of things like epilepsy and stuff like that.
So anxiety to a certain extent.
So it's a medical, it's got medical uses, and people have started using them as like a lifestyle treatment for things like general anxiety, stuff like that. And in America, where this has become very legal, where there's the production of it and it's legal, it's become very widespread. The use of CBD oils as kind of a supplement, a dietary supplement. So in the UK, it is legal to put CBD into products and to have CBD. As far as I can tell, the major issue in the UK is that all the CBD oils we have suck.
Yeah, so I think there's only 2 suppliers that are officially, is it FSA approved? This is...
No, there's none of them are FSA approved.
None of them are FSA approved.
The FSA have no regulations around it yet.
Okay.
And they're going to start doing that next year, from my understanding.
So we're kind of in a bit of a Wild West zone at the minute.
Little bit. We're also in the Wild West because we're in Liverpool, technically Birkenhead. And we've come to one of our pro Patreons where we've been brewing delicious beer based on the Tunnocks wafer, but that's a video yet to come. They have CBD beer. So they've seen this trend happening in America, and they've decided to have a go, see how it works, see what it tastes like, and see if they feel any effects or their customers like it.
Yeah.
So what we've got in our glasses right now is their normal payload pale, their West Coast American pale ale. Citrus, pine, malt, honey, nice complex, very sessionable, sippable beer. And in a sec, we're going to crack open the pale ale CBD.
Compare and contrast.
Yeah. Really lovely beer. So, CBD. Something they do regulate about is you cannot, in the UK, give any kind of indication that a beer might give you any feeling of well-being, of relaxation, of confidence, anything like that. So a lot of the effects that CBD supposedly has can't be mentioned on the can. The only reference we have to it is the word CBD, the dose, 10 milligrams. Which
equates to, so this is 1 litre, 10 milligram dose will make 6,600 litres of beer.
Yeah. So I guess the first question we should ask ourselves is, can we taste any difference between that and this?
Yeah.
Bearing in mind that there will be a batch difference because these were 2 different brews. So there could be some batch difference. Lovely head on that. More head than on the other one.
Yeah.
Maybe CBD helps with head retention.
It still smells great.
Smells exactly the same. I don't think there's a difference that is outside of the parameters of just batch variation.
Yeah, my understanding is, I've not actually used CBD oil, but I'm not against it. I think they should be regulated. Same with cannabis, I think it should be legalized. But my understanding of this flavour-wise is that it's just very, very bitter. I can't say I can pick up any more bitterness in this.
I don't think at 10 milligrams.
It's going to make that much of an
And also, if you're taking CBD oil generally, please in the comments let us know. Surely it can't be too bitter, or else you wouldn't be able to. Because I think you put it under your tongue. You put a drop under your tongue, and that's one of the ways that you take it. If it was incredibly bitter, that would be quite an unpleasant thing to do.
It's only a small amount, right?
Yeah, but if it's all that's in your mouth, you know, just a droplet of cyanide will have a tang to it. So, we can't really taste any kind of difference.
No.
Also, the other thing we should say is that CBD doesn't really take effect in the body for at least an hour. So we won't actually feel any difference now, and we probably won't feel any difference even once it's working, once it's using its anti-inflammatory, anti-anxiety properties.
I mean, I've been drinking the CBD seltzers, and I had a CBD beer earlier, and I feel great. But that's probably just because I've been drinking beer all day.
Brad hurt himself on a water slide at Centre Park, so when we saw CBD, he was like, oh, maybe that will help me with my ailments from Centre Park.
Yeah, I did some sort of token manual labour over there.
It was very token.
My back still hurt, actually, so I backed off from that.
I'm going to flash up right now your token effort. I'm glad your back's okay, though, buddy.
Yeah.
So, as far as I'm concerned, 10 milligrams, it's a very, very small dose, and the best thing it can do for you, really, is as part of you taking the supplement of CBD, it will be a top-up of that.
Yeah, so as part of a sort of balanced diet
of CBD.
CBD lifestyle.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you've also got the perceived effect and the sort of placebo effect of things when, you know, and also the social aspects of drinking beer. You know, if you put all these things together, and you know, no doubt it does have health benefits. I think you're not going to hurt yourself, and you're probably going to feel better about drinking it.
The interesting thing is, though, of course, that because CBD is a relaxant, alcohol's also a relaxant. So for you to get any real effect from the CBD sort of shorter term, you'd have to drink so much alcohol that the alcohol's effect is just going to be a million times what the CBD is. So, you know, it's kind of cool that CBD is in these beers, and maybe the best thing it could do is to be in lots of beers. Whatever you're drinking, you get a bit of CBD. Or my favourite thing to see in CBD brewing would be no and low, because then you're still getting the relaxant effect of CBD, but without the alcohol. So you can replace that feeling of relaxation.
Should be more
CBD.
pronounced, the effects of it.
We should talk about THC, because there are places in America where people have brewed, so you can't combine alcohol and THC legally in the States, but you can have no alcohol beers with THC in. So we would love to come try those. Unfortunately, I think it's Lagunitas that make them, so that's Heineken. But we might find an indie guy doing it, and we can go and try that. Or if you guys have tried it, please let us know.
Well, how do you feel? I mean, I think this stuff's going to be huge. I think the more that we sort of seek out alternative medicine, I think CBD and things like it, more natural alternatives, seem to fit in with more of a youth lifestyle where they want to be healthier, and they want to be more at one with nature.
I think it's very much going to be a millennial trend. The problem is in the UK, the regulation is not built for it, and I think it's going to be probably a decade before it's properly regulated and affordable and usable. At the moment, I think you have to be very wary of the stuff that's made in the UK. These guys, we weren't allowed to show the logo, and we wouldn't have anyway, because, you know, finding a good supplier of it that's supplying the quality and the amount of CBD that you'd want is very, very tricky. So people are a bit guarded about who's supplying it. So I think it probably will be a big thing, and I think it's a good opportunity in like low and no alcohol beers to create that relaxation effect and be part of a balanced supplemental diet.
I would
it's going to
say
be many years before that happens over here.
I'd say if you haven't tried it, seek it out. You know, Glen Affric's making some great stuff. There aren't too many breweries in the UK that are doing this.
No, there's a couple of others. There's another brewery who I won't name because I think they did it and then decided it was a bad idea, and I'm not sure that they will ever do it again, or that they want to advertise that they did it. But yes, there is going to be more happening, but I think maybe check where their CBD is coming from before you pay a lot of money for that, because you know they're not cheap to make, and the doses are pretty small. But it's definitely an interesting growth section. We'd love to know if you guys have had any CBD beers, or if you're CBD users generally, and you can correct any of the stuff or the science that we've said. But I hope that was a slight introduction to what these CBD beers are that might be cropping up where you are. Cheers.
Cheers.
And of course, be more like Glen Affric and support our Patreon.